Hello and welcome to MBKM Models. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and follow for more great aircraft documentaries and model build videos. When I was 8 years old in 1972, British television aired a programme entitled Sole Survivor starring William Shatner of Star Trek fame. This was about a crashed B-24 twin-engine bomber and its ration and waterless ghostly crew in the Libyan Desert who were still without rescue and had not eaten or drank water after nearly 20 years. The Lady Be Good is a B-24D Liberator bomber that disappeared without trace on its first combat mission during World War II. The plane, which was from the 376 Bomb Group of the United States Army Air Forces, was believed to have been lost, with its 9-man crew, in the Mediterranean Sea while returning to its base in Libya following a bombing raid on Naples on April the 4th, 1943. However, the wreck was accidentally discovered 710 kilometers, 440 miles inland in the Libyan Desert by an oil exploration team from British Petroleum on November the 9th, 1958. Investigations concluded that the first time all new crew had failed to realise they had overflown their airbase in a sandstorm. After continuing to fly south into the desert for many hours, the crew bailed out, and when the plane's fuel was exhausted, the survivors then died in the desert trying to walk to safety. All but one of the crew's remains were recovered between February and August 1960. The wreckage of the Lady Be Good was taken to a Libyan Air Force base after being removed from the crash site in August 1994. In 1943, the Lady Be Good was a new B-24D Liberator bomber that had just been assigned to the 514th Bomb Squadron of the United States Army Air Forces on March the 25th. The squadron was part of the 376 Bombardment Group based at Soluch Field in Soluch in Libya. The plane, which had the AAF serial number 4124301, had the group identification number 64 stencil painted on its nose. Its given name, Lady Be Good, was hand painted on the starboard front side of the forward fuselage. Lady Be Good's crew were also new as they had only arrived in Libya a week before, on March the 18th. On April the 4th, they flew their first mission together, one of 25 B-24s assigned to bomb the harbour of Naples in a two-part late afternoon attack. The first wave of 12 B-24s was followed by a second wave of 13 planes, including the Lady Be Good. After the attack, all the planes were expected to return to their bases in North Africa. The Lady Be Good, which was one of the last planes of the second wave to depart, took off from Soluch Field near Benghazi at 14:15 hours. It joined the formation and continued on to Naples. However, a sandstorm caused 8 B-24s to return to Soluch, leaving 4 aircraft to continue the operation. When the Lady Be Good arrived over Naples at 1950 hours at 24,900 feet, poor visibility obscured the primary target. The 2 B-24s attacked their secondary target on the return trip, while the other 2 aircraft dumped their bombs into the Mediterranean Sea to reduce weight and save fuel. The Lady Be Good flew alone on its return trip to its home base in Libya. At 12:12 hours, the pilot, Lieutenant William Hatton, radioed to say his automatic direction finder was not working and asked for a location of base. The crew apparently overflew their base, failing to see the flares fired to attract their attention. They continued southward over North Africa, deeper into the Sahara Desert for the next 2 hours. At 2 a.m, as fuel became critically low, the crew parachuted to the ground. The abandoned Lady Be Good flew a further 16 miles before it crash landed into the Silencio San Sea, largely because it was believed the aircraft had probably crashed at sea. A subsequent search and rescue mission from Soluch Field failed to find any trace of the aircraft or its crew. The disappearance of the Lady Be Good became a mystery. The first reported sighting of the crash site was on November the 9th, 1958, by a British oil exploration team working for British Petroleum in the northeast of Libya's Kufra district. The team contacted authorities at Wheelus Air Base, but no attempt to examine the aircraft was made, as no record existed of any plane believed to have been lost in the area. However, the location of the wreckage was marked on maps to be used by oil prospective teams that were due to set out to explore the Silencio San Sea the next year. On February the 27th, 1959, British oil surveyor Gordon Bowerman and British geologists Donald Sheridan and John Martin spotted the wreckage near 26 degrees 42 hours 45.7 minutes north, 24 degrees 1 hour 27 minutes east, 440 miles east of Solich. This followed up the first sighting from the air on May the 16th, 1958 by the crew of a Silver City Airways Dakota, piloted by Captain Alan Frost, and another flight on June the 15th. A recovery team made initial trips from Wheelus Air Base to the crash site on May the 26th, 1959. In February 1960, the United States Army conducted a formal search of the area for the remains of the crew. 5 bodies, those of Hatton, Second Lieutenant Robert F. Toner, Hayes, Technical Sergeant Robert E. Lamotte, and Staff Sergeant Samuel E. Adams, were found on February the 11th. The team concluded that other bodies were likely buried beneath sand dunes after finding evidence that at least 3 of the surviving crew members had continued walking northward. With the news that 5 bodies had been recovered, the US Air Force and US Army started an expanded search called Operation Climax in May 1960. The joint operation used a USAAF C-130 cargo plane and 2 Army Bell H-13 helicopters. However, it was the British Petroleum exploration crew that found the remains of Staff Sergeant Guy E. Shelley on May the 12th, 1960, 24 miles northwest of the recovered 5 bodies. A US Army helicopter found the body of Technical Sergeant Harold J. Ripslinger on May the 17th, 1960, located 26 miles northwest of Shelley's body, over 200 miles from the crash site, but still 99 miles from Solich Air Base. These 2 bodies were the only ones found during Operation Climax. Another British Petroleum oil exploration crew discovered the remains of Second Lieutenant John S. Voravka on August the 19th, 1960. His body was then recovered by the US Air Force. The remains of one of the air gunners, Staff Sergeant Vernon L. Moore, have never been officially found. However, his remains may have been recovered and buried by a desert patrol of the British Army in 1953, as they were unaware that any Allied crews were missing in the area. The human remains were recorded but then buried without further investigation. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and until next time.